Hello everyone, GShock here, back again for another GShock preview video for the month of January 2023. It's been a while of holiday for me, Happy New Year to everyone, but now let's get back to work. Starting with the first GShock on the list, that is the GN1B5000 TCC Titanium Circuit Board Camouflage Series at, here's out, 214,500 Japanese yen, roughly around 1600 USD. It's extremely expensive, but like any fully titanium square GShock, the price are roughly the same, except this one we're getting quite a few things in detail. So we're getting, first of all, the entire titanium band and bezel will be pre-treated, and then the laser etched to add some of the circuit board pattern, and then they ion plated the entire thing, and then they laser etch all the pattern again to make it much, bolder, a lot more detail. And the detail, if you look closely, as far as the bezel component, it goes all the way to the glass, also all the way to the dial. Everything blends in really nicely. Precision is there. And this is something that I've never seen any watch manufacturers out there other than Casio could do at this price point. Moving on to the next watch on the list, we have Gemstone, Adventurer Gemstones. With the first one on the list, GM114 GEM-1A9JR, representing calcite. If you want to buy the stone, you could just buy them, they are pretty cheap, but this is GShock we're talking about here, and it is based on the, the regular GM110, except the bezel now had been double ion plated black and gold, and then they also textured it. And then also the strap for this 110 series also been hot stamped to create a pattern similar to those on the watch bezel, and that is just insane. The fact that they could do that, and also the implementation, and also again the precision in the manufacturing process for this series is just amazing and mind-blowing. We could debate of how good the end result is, but as far as the watch itself, the concept, the implementation, it's just brilliant. And then of course the baby G version to pair with that, also double ion plated in purple and also to black. Purple ion plating is very rare, and we're getting this from Casio, high quality plating, so something really nice going on over here, although it is a small size version of the previous model. And then we have, of course, you're gonna need to have the Casio version in this case, right? GM2140 Gem. This is to represent cordierite, if I'm not mistaken, the blue cordierite. Also nicely done. Just like any GM2100s, all of them are great, but in this case, this photo, I have to say, look like toy-ish, right? Look like one of those fake watches on the market. But if you look at the real photo, like the wrist check they included in the website, it look much better in person. And I have a feeling if you look at the watch and all of this series in person, it will be a lot better. Then carry on to the pair for the watch, which is slightly subtle, GMS2140 Gem, gold ion plating only, single color, just like the Casio GM2140, except this one I think look a bit more simpler. Still have those texturing on it, but just mostly gold, and the strap is just plain white, unlike the blue version, which has some bluish faint pattern on the strap as well. And then of course a square GShock watch. This is to represent Sunstone. Alright, this is a lot cooler actually if you look at the process. Of course, double ion plating. First they have this rainbowish plating method, and then they have the ion plating to black to create this sunstone pattern, which is really gorgeous. Remember, this is on metal, this is not some painted on, which is different in terms of results. Painted result versus ion plated results in two different things. The watch gonna looks better in person, I guarantee that. But for the small size GMS 5640 version, 35,200 Japanese yen, just pretty simple. But I have to say the implementation is still looking really great. Silver with some rainbowish and some slash pattern, I would say, on the strap. For me personally, I have to only choose one because they are so expensive. So I'm probably gonna get the Sunstone or perhaps the GM2140, but I already got this one. Perhaps I'm just gonna go with the Sunstone GM5640 Gem. Speaking of square GShock watch though, Casio will be releasing 4 new models that is a lot smaller. They call them the GMD S5600. They already add I would say a dimension in comparison to the regular DW5600, making this a lot smaller, though it looked to me, alright, like the Baby G BG5600, if I'm not mistaken. It looked kind of like that, except this one, you know, they called it G-Shock instead of Baby G. 4 color, black with gold face, white with black face, blue with blue face, and gray with brown face. The face in this case is the star of the show. They feature a vapor deposition method in the construction, and that gave us this mirror-like effect. Depending on the light position, right, light reflections, they're gonna make the watch pop. And the price for this series is 13,750 yen, which is affordable. And also, to those of you guys who have been complaining that you know, for the G-Shock, regular square G-Shock, which have really long strap, you know, gonna end up with this tongue sticking out on the side of the wrist, this watch solved all of that issues. And then, speaking of other square, we're also gonna get something that is more of a Japanese culture related, which they normally release on March, but this time way earlier. This is called the Toy Capsule series, which I have to say, brilliant concept. It came in a ball, just like the Capsule Toy machine, which is incredible, unique, specific to Japan. I'm not sure other consoles still uses this kind of thing, but for Japan, this is a thing. So, neon green, yellow, I don't know, you guys comment down below. 56GL9JR at 1750 yen. All three are priced the same. And the thing that I noticed, what makes this watch special in comparison to other models that I've seen before, unlike, let's say, a skeleton G-Shock watch, right? If you look at the watch bezel, say this one, Casio Oak, it is skeleton glossy finishing, but the gloss finishing only goes to the top part and not for the bottom side of the watch, making it look more frosty. You cannot really see the hard case underneath the bezel. Unlike this Toy Capsule series, if you look closely at the photo, for all three of them, you could see the color, you could see the casing underneath that very clearly. So they did something different here, although they didn't mention that in the descriptions. They did something different, making all three look really, I would say, a lot better than other skeleton G-Shock watch they released way before this series came out. So that is special. Lime, a neon color, orange, bright orange color for the 1600, and 110 in red, which is not the best thing, I think, but yeah, there's there just to add some analog digital version just in case people need them. Then carry on to the next G-Shock watch on the list, and that is GG-B100Y Modmaster Quad Sensor G-Shock watch, mostly black with some yellow accents on it. They call this emergency yellow, which, well, whatever, it is yellow, but the pattern that they add on the carbon fiber part of this watch, so I do think it look a bit too much, but for something that is new and just for fun, just for the fun of it, if you want this watch, there you go. If you don't like them, that's okay. You could also pick up this other G-Shock from the same series. This is the GW9400 Rangeman. Alright, mostly black and there's some yellow on it. There you go. Also nicely done. I'm quite surprised that still releasing Rangeman. You know, probably they're warming up to something more for 40th anniversary. Carry on to the next G-Shock watch on the list. There's the Jason. Again, I already talked about this last month, but this time we have proper, clear, real-life photo of them. So here we go. I'm just gonna share all of them for 3 different models, and I have to add one thing. For the yellow version, the entire metal bezel is gloss finishing. For the silver version, there's hairline finish plus gloss finishing, and for the gold version, the entire surface has gloss finishing. And as far as releasing date goes, this watch will be out at the end of the month. So you're only gonna be able to see it next month. So I'm probably gonna buy a different G-Shock watch for the month for review, alright? And then carry on to the next watch, and that is the GWF A1000 APF Amazon frog. I mean, they released a collaboration inspired by a different frog before, like the Bornean rainforest, something like that, but this time Amazon rainforest. And I have to say again, somehow they managed to add color to carbon fiber. You could debate either it turned out good or not, but I have to say it looked great. It looked great. It looks very collectible. And if you look closely for the transparent 3-piece bezel, all the blue goes underneath though. So the transparent bezel really works this time, so you could see what underneath that. If you already own one of these, remember, this feature metal bezel at the top. This one is carbon fiber, so it's gonna be a lot lighter in weight. This is gonna be collectible, especially considering this is 30th anniversary G-Shock fragment watch alongside G-Shock 40th anniversary release, so it's gonna be a big deal. Then last but not least, if I did miss anything, based on the MTGB 3000, since it has moon on it, there we go, a pair to this G-Shock watch. Moon surface as far as the I would say top bezel, but not really the top because there's another bezel that's covering it. But anyway, you get the point. Moon entirely in gold, unlike this one, it's just, you know, resin strap in black. But for this MTGB 3000, you could buy a black resin strap and just plug it on there. It features a quick release strap as well. So even though it comes all gold like this, much more blingy, flashy, but then again, you could change that. Okay, just leave the bezel part to gold and you're good to go. And I have a feeling, even though the poster photo looks a bit cartoonish, in person it should look a lot more darker, a bit more serious. I think I'm not sure yet. We'll see how it goes. But for now, that's pretty much it. This video is long, I know, because it's quite a lot of them and I have to cover all the details that I could get, because I'm not going to be purchasing all of them, perhaps just one. I'll be reviewing the Jason next month, but for this month I'm not sure which one to get. Perhaps you guys can comment down below. My budget is quite low. Perhaps the Adventurer Gemstone because it is 40th anniversary, maybe one of those, or perhaps I'm gonna get the Rangeman. I don't know. Comment down below what your opinions are and I'll think about it. That's it. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.